What's going on, guys? Swag here, back with another video. Huge bombshell that was dropped in the event notice news this morning. Dear Commander, we recently received feedback and suggestions regarding the anniversary ancient summoning event. This was a lot of folks in the community were really kind of up in arms, felt like, the upcoming Jezebel and Sithra banner was very underwhelming, which is understandable to me. I don't have Sithra, so I was looking forward to the banner. I didn't have an issue with it. I know a lot of people did. But we understand that many of you have been looking forward to this celebration. Your voices mean a great deal to us. After an urgent discussion and evaluation, they have decided to make the following adjustments to the anniversary summoning event. And so the special ancient summoning, originally scheduled for July 17th through July 20th, featuring Jezebel and Sithra, will be changed to the Ancient Legendary Lucky Pick. First time ever that they're doing this. This is phenomenally great news for many players. This is also horrible news, horrible news for a lot of players out there. In addition to the legendary Lord Hero Jezebel, you can select one other legendary hero from the ancient summoning pool, obviously excluding Lord Heroes and Ymerit, the unnamed hero, the only one that's still in the pool. Moving forward, though, they will continue listening to our feedback and do their best to bring more engaging content and better rewards to everyone who has supported them along the way. They will also schedule the return of some highly requested heroes. I'm sure that's going to be Valara and Ingrid and Kadgrim, which those banners haven't ran since Christmas / New Year's. Thank you for your continued support and love for the game. So this is an extremely great change, except there's a lot of people already in the community very upset, which is understandable, that this news should have already been shared with the community before this last weekend's banner with Ezerith and Pierre. Now, I didn't have Ezerith, so it was a must summon for me. I didn't have Pierre either. Summoned, I was lucky enough to hit him. Actually, got very lucky with hitting him twice. So in a 10 pull, I got 2 copies of him. So I went from no Ezerith to an A1 in 10 pulls, and I stopped there. But I also didn't have a whole bunch of summons, and thankfully I also didn't summon Pierre, so I still have my pity going into this banner. So I'm in a pretty good place, considering my non-lord pity is like 30 away from the actual hard pity. So in a real good place. Just anything I hit will likely strike gold very quickly to that 150. So now what I do want to also talk about in this video is, who should you summon? There's a lot of great characters that are in the pool, and there's a lot of characters that are obviously not very great, and it's good to be informed on some of those characters. Now, a lot of people have different opinions. This is just a list that I put together. We'll jump into the categories and stuff. Obviously, right out the gate, number 1, Valara. You know that if you don't have Valara, this is an absolute must select for you. this is an absolute must-go all-in banner for you in terms of Valara. But if you do have Valara, I would not select her in this pool. Even if you're at A2 trying to go to A3, A4 trying to go to A5, I would be tactically patient because her banner is definitely going to come in a couple of months. And that's what they're talking about in those notes that I read to you earlier. It's coming. So we'll just get Valara out the bag right away. And then this is just a really kind of top 9 list in my opinion. I did some honorable mentions. You'll see, some vacancies in my account. But for me, going number 10 on the list, starting off with that, is going to be Dasomi. Dasomi is actually a very, very great dispeller. He's got some good healing and ally buffing, but again, he's more so for dispel. He is going to solve that matrix problem, if you will, in terms of keeping the squad alive and keeping them from getting buffed and stuff like that, the poison and everything that gets put on. But again, with Rivenhold and his exclusive artifact, that's kind of taking him a little bit off of this list. But as you can see, as far as matrix goes, there he is, and then in other content too, he's pretty solid, man. He's gonna keep you alive. He's great for the new faction trials, particularly if you don't have Cornelian. If you don't have her, but you do have him or Anomia, he's definitely going to help you progress there and keep people alive. Number 9 on the list for me, this is going to be Lycan. Obviously, since Orin got released, Lycan has really kind of risen up again. You're going to see him on a lot, not all, a lot of those matrix teams for the physical boss. And you're also starting to see him a lot in the arena comps. He's also going to help you in a lot of PvE content all over the place. He's a great champion. Unfortunately, when he was with Orin, I didn't get him. It is what it is. I got some other folks. That's what happens. But yeah, it kind of is what it is. I think he's good, but he's not like super meta. Ironically for me, Sithra is number 8 on the list. Again, I don't have her. There's some arena teams that are, some folks that are running her on the arena team. She's also obviously going to be very good for you on gear rate 324 on that right side. Make sure that you don't have any leaks or anything like that. And she's going to also help you out now with the faction trials as well. Moving on to number 7. Number 7 is going to be Carnelian. Obviously very, very good for GVG, still used on a lot of teams there. Really, to be frank, kind of a pain in the butt. And then well in with the their new faction trials, I'm really feeling the hurt not having her. While Dasomi is good and Eunomia is okay, she is definitely far, far better in terms of keeping them alive and keeping them from dying with that revival. So she's going to be number 7 on the list. Number 6, I think is good. I use him in a lot of different content, which would be Erlong Shin, great in Arena, great in the faction trials, great with a lot of different squads, great with, I use him in Malric, the Obsidian, and I also use him on the squad in doing some 3s and 4s and stuff like that. Although he is a defender, he smacks pretty good. So mostly I use him obviously in anti-air arena with my squad. Number 5 on the list, which she just recently had a banner, and if you didn't get her, Su Yu is definitely really, really interesting and good. A couple of things that make her interesting is when you do place her on the battlefield, she does smack really, really hard. The problem set with her, of course, is that constant deploy and redeploy and waiting for her to come back and be able to be put back out on the field. And then, of course, she's limited the number of times you can spawn her. Obviously, if you had her at A5, you get 5 times, but I have her at A3. She's done great for me in Solved Matrix in terms of physical damage, because I don't have Lycan. She's done a great job with the Codex bosses in terms of some of them as well. Like she's on this team right here, and she does a good job there. She's also on this team right here, and that team does pretty good as well. The things I kind of don't really like about her, though, I'm not spending a lot of time on her, but she's not a tactician. They call her a tactician, but she's not moving. In order to move a tactician, they have to, you have to use the ultimate, like Valara, it can be up on the podium or down on the ground. And Su Yu is the same way. However, you can do the same thing with Talon. And Talon is, a regular champion. She can be up on her platform as a marksman, or she could be down on the ground as a ground pounder. Su Yu is not a tactician. That is utter garbage that they made her a tactician. She's not, and it just kind of frustrates me that they made her that way. It also frustrates me that when you keep her on the battlefield and let her dispel herself off, they count that as a death in the faction trial. So a little annoying there. But anyways, that was number 5. Number 4, and a big one, which will be number 1 on a lot of folks' lists, will be Gretchen. Gretchen's pretty good. I say pretty good because I have her, and I don't really, outside of Codex, I don't really use her generally that much. I think it's, let's go. Yeah, I used her here with this battle with this Codex. I use her there. And I used her, if I'm not mistaken, I used her, no, I didn't use her in Artifact. I used her one other place. where she kind of helps me out. Oh yeah, Gear Dungeon 3 is, I used her there to get, you know, past 10, and I'm still working on 11, 12, and 13. But those are only the two places. I know some folks have, you know, had some luck in terms of using her in anti-air arena teams. I'm pretty sure she's gonna do relatively, you know, very well with you know, the new meta that will come out with Jezebel, particularly if you have Cithra and Dracula, and she's probably going to be very meta with that team. But aside of that, yep, she can solve your problems with Abyss 1, with either an Infernal team or a Chaos team. I've seen both of them. But she's going to be a good addition for the squad. Her herself is not a meta heavy hitter, but she is a great support that's going to buff up the squad. And speaking of supports that are going to buff up the squad, in my opinion, at number 3, excuse me, is going to be Durza. Durza to me is number 3. Number 1, because they've never in the history of Watcher of Realms released this dude on a banner. So he's very, very hard to get. There are a lot of big players that, including the whales, that never, ever have been able to summon this guy. I've used him. I've used him in some Codex content, as obviously as well. Again, you know, being Matrix, you know, he's up on the list, as you see right there. You know, he's not there. So you see how important Durza is in really helping the squad. What makes him really, to me, higher up on the list than most of them is his availability, along with you know, what he kind of brings to the table in terms of being that inspiration unit that's, you know, going to buff the squad out, putting, you know, vulnerability magic damage and vulnerability physical damage at the same time is a phenomenal buff to give the people and the rest of your squad. He to me is really up there, more so again because the limitation of his banner. Number 2 on the list, and who I'm going to go for, is definitely Cadram. Cadram was released, I think it was the New Year's banner with Ingrid. I didn't get him. I got, of course, a copy of Ingrid. And then, of course, you know, on the other banner with Rivenhall was Valara. I got Rivenhall, I got Valara off that banner. It was a great banner for me. But when it came time to summon on Cadram, I really didn't have that many shards to really kind of dive into it. Struck my luck, and I was able to get a copy of Ingrid, and that was it. So I really want this dude, mostly because he's going to help out in Malric for me. He's going to help out in the faction trials for me, and just generally anywhere, because he's the number 1 tank, like actual tank in the game. He's going to be in that squad moving forward. Just pretty much on any team I can use him, particularly for me because I don't have Cyrus, which makes a lot of content really tough, particularly Malric. When you start talking about level 4 and level 5, unless you just bring in some really great DPS, it can be really tough to even keep your tanks alive in there. And so that's the top 10. Remember in the beginning I covered Valara as the number 1, and then some honorable mentions that I think are all around pretty good. Nomia, she just had a banner you probably won't be inclined to summon for. A lot of folks don't like her. I like her because, again, she gives defensive dispel, removing those buffs. I use her in my Matrix squad, and I use her in some other places as well. Use her on some Maurix teams. I use her in the other arena that's going on now. I always forget what it's called because it only comes around once in a while. But Honor's Gauntlet, she's on one of those teams. She's really good, and a lot of people sleep on her. She does get better with awakenings. When she is awakened to level 3, that range does increase, making her more viable for, you know, other places, placements. Other honorable mentions, I don't have them. Sargak's going to be great, particularly with helping with faction trials for piercers. He's going to be helpful in the faction trials for, you know, the new faction trials for chaotic and supreme arbiters, along with I have seen him on teams in arena, and he can wreak some havoc. Other honorable mentions that are good champs: Lubu's great. Again, he's another one I don't have. He used to be really big in the Matrix meta. He's not anymore. He's kind of fell off, but I do see him every once in a while in arena teams, wrecking havoc again. With him, that makes him very interesting is, you know, he buffs with his bond skill, Diao Chan. So, you know, having him will only increase her, which a lot of you should know. You know, Diao is probably arguably one of, if not one of the best champions in the game, but you know, that bond skill with their you know, when there are any other allied heroes in her basic attack range, reduces her AoE damage taken by 30%, and that's okay. It's not as great as on him, but Lubu's not to sleep on. He's an honorable mention. 2 more honorable mentions, and then we'll cover some of the other folks that shouldn't be there. Kayn. A lot of people don't like Kayn. A lot of people think that you know, some of the other cost regeners get the job done, yada yada yada. What makes Kayn great is he has AoE physical damage. He's not like the other cost regeners where you just place them and you gotta wait for the cost and then deploy the people that are actually gonna hit. He smacks, and I've seen him smack an entire cluster in arena of, you know, enemy coming towards him, all by himself. Plus, he does a great job in terms of blocking. If you're trying to keep them from leaking, you know, put the other artifact on him, you know, to increase that. I like Kayn. A lot of people don't really care for him. They thought, you know, initially when he came out, he was gonna, you know, immediately change the meta, and then he quickly kind of fell off, and he's kind of he's okay. I use him all the time. He's the only cost regener that I ever use when I need him, as long as there's no, you know, faction restrictions or whatever, and, you know, those guys get out there pretty quick. Last one to kind of mention for an honorable, and she's really kind of fell off, but is Ardea. Ardea is great. Unfortunately, you know, she really has been power crept to include the one place where she really shined. And I don't know why I keep going up there, but again, Matrix, you know, and I keep talking about Matrix because Matrix is the one content in this game every week where you get great rewards. Like me, I got, you know, off of my Matrix and Apox, I got like 8 Ancients this week. Plus, you know, some divines and a whole bunch of rares, and to me it's the best. But as you can see, right, she's kind of just fell off the meta, and she used to always be in these teams. There's one right there, and he's doing really great. You know, 112.9 is no joke. Right there. So it's kind of 50-50. You know, some folks are running her, some are not. And if you're trying to improve that Matrix score, and you know, maybe you're trying to do a chaotic team, or you're trying to do a northern team, she may be the answer for that. I do. And that's pretty much going to cover it. Let me know what your plans are. Did you summon all your summons on the Ezerith and Pierre banner, and you know, you don't got nothing to summon? If that's you, I'm sorry to hear it, but let me know in the comments below what you plan on doing, who you plan on selecting, and what your thoughts are. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.